Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto was in prison and sealed away for 18 years. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Awaken Alucard's godly abilities over an Anime King, and enjoy that guys. And also on this channel I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Had Cheat Codes for reality, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And also over on Anime King 3, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was sent to a parallel multiverse, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, we were in a flashback as Inoichi was exploring Naruto's mind to find out exactly what happened back then. As it was all revealed, from Naruto killing the council members and him being brought to jail. As Naruto took on the biggest and the baddest guy in prison the moment he got there, he bashed his skull in. As he told him that he was now in charge, and his one rule is they should not screw with him, as he was brought to Sulter for that time, as he made a deal with the fox. Tsunade came to talk to him, as she was not happy with what he did, but she said that his skills had improved a lot for him to sneak around like that, as she refused to talk about what had happened. A tear fell from her eye as she watched him, as she had to go now. But Naruto gave her a smile as he told her it would be alright. Mizuki, who was in here as he remembered the beating that Naruto gave him, came to hurt the brat. But when the officers came, Mizuki was ripped to pieces, his arms and legs torn apart, his torso hanging from the ceiling as Naruto stood there with a bloodthirsty grin as it freaked out the officers. As he was placed into solitary once again, some time passed. He got a letter as Jiraiya went and investigated the Akatsuki and he got himself killed. If Naruto was reading this, that meant that he was dead, as he left everything, all of his finances, all of his HHA sales, all over, as he handed them all over to Naruto. As Naruto had already been given a gift of being able to create seals by Jiraiya, and with that he was able to sell them back to Konoha and he was able to get beyond wealthy, having so much money that he couldn't even comprehend most times. But while in prison he trained and also get stronger as the fox helped him along as he spoke to the fox and became more friends with the fox. Naruto told Inoichi to get out of his mind as Inoichi backed away, as Naruto was now fully awake and back on his feet. As the others left, Hinata managed to calm him down though, as she was able to talk to him, as she held on to him, showing that she was still here no matter what, and no matter how bad he was getting, she was gonna still be here. As Naruto simply lay there, with her in his chest. The next morning she woke up, Naruto was gone, as she found him on the ceiling as he had nature energy chakra. As he sent it out in a pulse, it turned out that he had toads all over, and they were also sending out the pulse, and he found Madara, as Hinata wanted to come along as her Byakugan would help a lot. As he allowed her to come, as he found Madara at the end of a valley, as beyond that was known as a dead man escape, because no one ever escaped the hole. With this fight with Madara, Hinata was captured and Naruto dived after her, as he managed to save her but he got wounded in the process, as both of them found themselves on a nearby land. Hinata spent the night with him as things escalated, as the both of them slept together there. The next morning as she was asleep, Naruto made sure that she was going to be okay as he placed up seals, as he decided to end this with Madara as Naruto brought her the mask. The dead man mask. Madara was shocked about it as he knew what it was. It was from the Uzumakis after all, as Naruto placed it on as he gave up his consciousness as Hoshirama came forth as the two of their personalities blend. Hoshirama was much more calm as he spoke to Madara as he gave him a handshake. But Madara made a big mistake as Hoshirama. Cells were inside of him as Hoshirama started to twist and turn them, as Madara was frozen into a statue there, where he'll remain for eternity. Hinata was looking around for Naruto when Hoshirama arrived, as he told her that Naruto was currently talking to some old friends. Meanwhile, as Naruto woke up as he was confused where he was in Konoha but there was no one around. As he made his way, as he went to the house that he was now living at but there was no one there. No one around for miles, until he saw someone in the Hokage's tower as silhouette, as he quickly made his way up there. When he arrived as he entered the office, only to hear a voice that he hadn't heard in a very long time, as the chair spun around to reveal that he was none other than the former Hokage, Sarutobi. As he gave Naruto a smile, "Long time no see," he said. So yeah guys, those base guys were left off. You guys can switch across to the place and check it for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? "Did I die?" said Naruto, as he knew that Sarutobi was dead. So for the man standing right here in front of him, that was the only explanation. "No, Naruto-kun, you didn't die, but your consciousness has to go somewhere while you use the dead man copy mask." As Naruto scratched his chin, "Then where are we, Jiji-san?" he said. That's a question I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer. We are not in heaven, not in hell, and we're not in the belly of the Shinigami either. And yet you're not talking to a figment of your imagination. It's all happening inside your head, but it's no less real." As Naruto was currently sitting down, as he leaned back, it made no sense but tons of sense in the same time. "How long do we have together?" said Naruto. "Could be minutes, could be months. Time flows strangely here. Let us make the most of it though. First off, as a shinobi and a kage, I am proud of the skills that you show to assassinate your enemies." He then frowned. "However, as someone as I consider family, I am shame you allow your emotions to get the better of you like that. What they were planning was wrong, yes, but it was no excuse to butcher them." As Naruto gritted his teeth and clenched his hands in a fist, only Sarutobi, an old man, who had known him for most of his earlier life, could make him feel proud and ashamed of himself at the same time. He felt no remorse for what he did. He hadn't for 18 years. Sarutobi inhaled his pipe as he exhaled. However, he said as he got to his feet, "I cannot place full blame on you. I cannot go into the details about the truth of the matter, but I want you to know it was not completely your fault." Naruto got to his feet. "Truth?" he asked the older man. "The truth of the matter is, I butchered 12 civilians that wanted my head on a pike, and I felt good doing so, for once I had control of my life." As Sarutobi's eyes were glued on him, "Listen to me, and listen to me well, boy. There are 3 sides to every story. Your side, your side, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. The dead are the only ones that know the full and complete truth." As Naruto gritted his teeth before, he nodded once as he understood the ancient, all-wise man. As Sarutobi melted back into that old, grandfatherly look. "Now then, Naruto-kun, I want to congratulate you." As the old man got a rather perverted grin, something that Naruto never thought could be seen on the old man's face. "You bag, one hell of a babe." "I swear to Kami," said Naruto, "you're as bad as they were saying." As Sarutobi chuckled a bit, "My boy, where do you think he got it from?" "You know," said Naruto, "I think the next time that me and Hinata goes at it, we're gonna do it right on this deck," said Naruto. As Sarutobi chuckled, "Naruto-kun, if you think you're gonna be the first one to break in that dex, you're about 6 kages behind." As Naruto shrugged before he paused, "Wait, Bachan?" "Wait, Jiraiya-kun, shortly after your incarceration," said Sarutobi. As Naruto blinked, "Wait, his final letter to me said that he hadn't yet caught the feel," said Naruto, "and he failed to do so." "Naruto-kun, Snappy is one of the best medics in the world, and the both of them had been drinking. Do you really think that she cannot give Jiraiya-kun local amnesia?" "Huh," said Naruto. "Wait, my parents?" "Well, you were conceived on that dex, boy." "That's a low blow, Jiji," said Naruto. "But I got one better. I won't be a Kage when me and Hinata break the dex." "Touché. I can't say anyone else was able to do so." "But we're not here to talk about that, Naruto-kun. There are others here that would like to see you." Naruto blinked. "Others want to see me in his head? Well then, Jiji, lead the way." As he followed Sarutobi out of the office, as he wondered who else wanted to see him. As Sarutobi led him towards the monument, as the both of them calmly walked up the stairs. Standing on top of the monument was a grown man, as he was wearing a white coat, blue, shinobi pants. His back was turned to Naruto as he had a spiky blonde mop of hair. As Naruto knew exactly who it was after all, he got his own moppy hair from him. As Minato turned, he couldn't get to finish his son's name, as a fist embedded into his stomach. As Naruto grabbed him by the hair, and slammed his knee into his father's face. There was something satisfying about hearing the crunch of a dead man's nose. That punch was for sealing Kurama inside me, you asshole, said Naruto, as he had long come to terms with his father sealing Fox inside of him, but he always wanted to get a good punch in. And the knee, said Minato, as he pressed his finger on his nose that was bleeding. For leaving me without a parent, I mean really. The Reaper Death seal a soul of the user, and you still use it anyway. And you actually use it. And you actually did, said Naruto, repeating what he said several times. Are you stupid? You could have actually survived if you had did something else, a different seal. As Naruto sighed, before he held his arm out, as Minato took it as Naruto pulled him up, as he drew him into a one-arm hug as he patted his back, as Naruto drew back from him, as he realized he was technically older than when his father had died. It is good to see you, father, no matter the circumstances, said Naruto. It is nice. I had expected to see you in only one of two circumstances actually, said Minato. Well, desperate times and all that, you know, said Naruto. Minato frowned. I'm sorry about Obito, Naruto-kun. That shouldn't have been your mess to clean up. No, it shouldn't have. Yet I'm cleaning it up anyways. What can I do about it though, when I gut Obito like a trout? I'm free to do as I please. I have no idea what I'm gonna do yet. I mean, I can't really go back to prison. Know that I have a woman that wants me, said Naruto. Minato nodded softly. Can you do something for me, he said. Maybe, but I won't be able to do it until you ask, said Naruto. Can you show me the completed Rasengan, Minato said. He knew of it, and he knew how it worked, but he wanted to see it in live action. As Naruto stepped back and held a hand out as a clone poofed beside him, as a Rasengan started to gather. The clone then started to add wind manipulation in it. Wind style Rasen Shuriken, said Naruto as he threw it as far as he could over the false Konoha. It exploded violently into mid-air as the wings exploded outwards. Damn, said Minato. Now that's an impressive sight. I've been working on one against the Kyuubi. In the stomach of the Shinigami, he said as he held his hand out. As Naruto was surprised to see what looked like a lightning blade came to life in his farther arm. Minato gripped his wrist as he started to spin around. Lightning release. Rasen's shadow, said Minato, as he aimed his hand towards the forest area behind the Hokaido's monument. Minato technique blasted through the trees like some angry god, tearing through the land. As Naruto gave a low whistle, it was also much faster than his Rasen Shuriken, but mine would win, he said. It was basic max. His was wind and Minato was lightning. Even if Minato shot right through the core of the Rasen Shuriken, it would destabilize the whole thing and then blew it to pieces. Maybe, maybe not. But it does exactly what I intend to do. It irritates the part of Kurama's seal up inside of me. I bet he just loves that, said Naruto as he looked towards a wide, spread destruction. Come on, there's a few others you have to meet, said Sarutobi. Don't bother, old man. I'm already here. It was a feminine voice and it was not familiar. As Naruto turned to look, Mom? He had seen Kushina Uzumaki in pictures before. As he moved over to her, instead of what he did with his father, he picked her up in a hug. The one person I've hoped to have seen, even just for a few moments. His father was a bad subject for him. He respected the man, maybe he could even love him as his father, but he was still angry towards the man for stealing foxes out of him. But his mother on the other hand, he was just so happy he got to meet his mother. He always heard Shikamaru and Kiba complaining about their mothers. But Naruto, he would cherish these moments, no matter what she said or did. My Naruto-chan, she said, as she lightly pat his cheek. Mom, I'm not a baby, he said. I'm older than both you and Dad when you died. Wait a moment. Why did I get a punch while she gets a hug, said Minato. Simple. Mom didn't seal Kyuubi inside me, and she carried me as well. What did you do? I have this entire list of things I wanted to tell you when I finally saw you, she said. But for the life of me, I can't remember any of it. But I have my child, she said, tears in her eyes, as she hugged him as Naruto stroked her hair. While he was in prison, Kakashi had came by, and he talked to him about his mother, as she had wanted to see him come in the world. She had wanted to meet her baby boy. It was almost a cruel twist of irony that the day that he came in the world, she left it. As Naruto then stepped back, something was wrong. Why was he smiling so much? As Kushina saw him frown. He wasn't this happy. He was someone that didn't let people in so quickly. What's going on? So, you figure out the real reason of the dead man copy masks. The reason why it drives so many people insane, said Sarutobi. As Naruto glanced towards the man, explained. Imagine everyone that was brought to a special place got to see all of those that were precious to them, and got to have closure. Yeah, that would drive them insane, said Naruto. Seeing all of their precious loved ones, everyone that they love. And they wouldn't be able to come back ever again. It's only a one-time use for dead man copy masks. Hey, father, can you give me the knowledge behind that jutsu of yours, said Naruto. Minato nodded as he placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder as he transferred the memories. In the realm of the mind and the dead, it was a simple transfer, but it gave Naruto a headache. But he reveled in the pain. It reminded him he was alive, as he slammed his fist into his palm. Mom, Dad, JJ, he said, it has been an honor to meet and see you guys once again. I will not dwell on this meeting, however, because I know each of you doesn't want me to do so. But I love all of you, said Naruto. As Kushina was the first to hug him, then Minato came over and hugged both of them. As Sarutobi came over and get in on the family moment as well. As to all three of them, he had been family in one way or another. As Naruto stepped away, Hoshirama, he shouted up to the sky, I'm ready to come home. He would not have his time dictated by an artifact. He would dictate his time as he pleased. The fake Konoha started to disappear and his family as well. He wanted to call out to them, but he held strong. The place went white as Naruto saw Hoshirama stepping towards him with another individual. As Naruto saw the Sharingan, but it wasn't the individual that he knew. I would like to apologize for what my brother has done, for what my descendants have done. Your soul is a rare thing in this world, and I am ashamed to know that my family has played a part in your suffering. Aizuna Uchiha, said Naruto, as he realized who this man was. He looked like a mix between Madara and Sasuke. As Naruto took his hand and shook it, rest in peace, Uchiha Aizuna, for I hold no grudge against you, or yours, for what they have done. Aizuna nodded, and a small smile started to fade away as well, as Hoshirama chuckled as he looked towards Naruto. You're one hell of an individual, you know that, right? I try. Glad to know you approve, Hoshirama. Do me a favor with you when you get back. And what would that be, said Naruto. Destroy the dead man copy mask. It has been in the world for a bit too long, I think. It's a dangerous artifact, and those with the wrong willing would use it to burn the world. I will, said Naruto. Hoshirama placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. May you use a fragment of my personality inside you well. Like hell I will, said Naruto. I like being crazy. Thank you for helping me. Don't mention it. I wanted to see Madara again anyways. He wasn't always a prick, you know. As both men separated as he started to walk in the opposite direction, as Naruto's eyes slowly opened, as he turned to see the dead man's copy mask beside his face. As he picked himself up, Naruto-kun. I'm fine, said Naruto, as he patted her arm as he gave her the mask. Throw it, he said. She looked surprised, as she threw it as far as possible, as Naruto charged his father technique. Rusting Shadow, as the attack blasts from his palm. It didn't want to break for a few seconds until it started to crack, and boom, it exploded. As something started to flutter down to him, on fire. It was a photo, as Naruto caught it, as it outed in his hand. Hinata watched as tears started to fall from Naruto's eyes. She looked over her shoulder. She saw that it was a picture of Naruto's parents along with Sarutobi. The trip back to Konoha was most done in silence. Naruto did not want to talk about what happened with the dead mask, and Hinata did not ask, as Naruto had made sure to go back to make sure Madara was stuck. The next 2 weeks fly past rather quickly, as Kakashi gave Hinata 2 weeks off, seeing the influence that she was having on Naruto, as he allowed the both of them time of rest and break, seeing that Naruto was already done, as Madara was now destroyed, Sasuke was gone. As both Naruto and Hinata had woken some sex monster inside of each of them, as they were able to act out all the scenes from each series, and not to mention the movie as well, the novels, and the 4 movies. They act out each and every scene, as Naruto was amazed because she knew the scenes as well, but she said that she was a fan. That was rather amusing, and yes, as Naruto had taken her to Hokage's office, when Kakashi had stepped out for a day, he take her right there in Hokage's decks. Well, he wasn't a Hokage, so he beat all the previous records. As time went on, Naruto did not got any information on Obito, as he was heading with Hinata towards the grocery store until he was blocked by a group of Hyugas. One of them stepped forward, as he had on the attire of a fighter of the Hyuga clan. Hinata-sama, it has come to the attention of the elders that you have broken off your marriage with one Itachi Uchiha. You are to come with us immediately for replacement of the cage bird seal. Screw that, said Naruto. You idiots aren't taking her anywhere. The leader raised his chin at Naruto like he was trying to look down upon him. Please step away from Hinata-sama, this does not concern a commoner like yourself. Well, guess what, dipshit? I'm involving myself. The man's dropping his stance. I will not ask you again, he said. Mate me, said Naruto, as the man lashed out with a strike as Naruto dodged, showing who was the fast one here. as he smashed his fist into the man's knee, breaking his kneecap, before he brought his fist up and shattered the man's jaw with a punch, launching him back. As Naruto spun and caught the fingertips of the second one, the man was shot and Naruto was able to caught his strike, as Naruto backhanded him, breaking his face. The other one then came as Naruto used the second one and twisted him and slammed him into his own friend, before he backhanded the third one away, and flipped behind him and he launched a brutal kick, slamming the man into the ground, as his face connected with the rough earth. The second one on the ground struck Naruto's leg as he grazed him a bit, as Naruto cracked his fist into his face, as a headband broke upon contact. The fifth one jumped as Naruto flipped backwards, as Naruto twisted and kicked him right in the nuts, before turning and slammed his heel into his forehead. As Naruto turned to the last one, boo, as he ran away, as Naruto pulled out his Kizurigama as he sat down on the one that was in pain, as he sat directly in the man's chest. Now listen here, you little shit stain. You brought a bunch of idiots, so I'll forgive you by not slaughtering each and every one of you, but that's as far as my mercy extends. So, listen to me and listen to me good. It will only be given once. You go back to your elder of dumbass councils and tell them that Hinata-chan is now under the protection of the Butcher of Konoha, and if they send in more idiots after her, I will send them back with their eyes carved out. Then I will come there and carve out the eyes of the elder council while they're alive. As Naruto dug the blade into the man's forehead and brought it down, just like the scar on Kakashi's eye, a permanent reminder for who you're screwing with. As Naruto patted him on the cheek before he sealed the Kizurigama away, Hinata watched stunned at Naruto's actions and what she heard him said. She was worried when she knew that her marriage with Itachi was now over, as she thought they would let it go but they did not, as she knew that Naruto was not joking. He would carry out that threat and he would make it as painful as possible for them, as she knew about the death of the 12th civilian council 18 years ago and how brutal it was. She had no idea about the monster that was inside of him, and she was not speaking about the fox. As Naruto glanced towards her, I warned you about this side of me, Hinata-chan, he said. It will never disappear. It will never go away, he whispered. I'm a monster deep inside, and I know it. Are you certain you still want to go through with this relationship, he asked. He gave her out, even though it was upsetting him. But he wouldn't force her to stay with a monster, so he gave her that out, so she could leave. She knew that he was bad, yes, but he wasn't always bad. He wouldn't just go around actively killing people for no apparent reason. As she moved forward, as she kissed his chest, seeing that he was high up, as he was wearing a shirt that showed off his chest, as she placed her arms around him. I do want this relationship, Naruto-kun, she said, and you are not a monster inside. The monsters are my family still, trying to put me under their heel. Naruto nodded softly as he offered her arm. We still need to go and get some food, he said. She slipped her arms around his as he started to walk towards Groce's door. As they were leaving, Naruto noticed people entering Konoha. As Hinata spoke, who are all these people? The refugees, said Naruto. As Naruto walked over, two dark-skinned individuals were holding up a woman with blonde hair, as she was missing her leg from knee down. The other female had bright red hair, and her left arm was broken, making carrying the other woman difficult. The male had white hair and a lollipop sticking out of his mouth. He was also missing his right eye. What's happening? The blonde woman raised her head. Kumo was falling to the Zetsu army. Naruto cursed. Get your wounded to the hospital. He created a clone as he gave the clone groceries. As he turned to Hinata, I need you to go to the hospital and ask Sakura if Gai Sensei is medically capable of opening 4 to 6 gates. I need you to hurry. She nodded as she took off running towards the hospital. As Naruto jumped as he caught Anvu. I need you to go and get Nara Shikamaru, Kakashi Sensei, Lee. He's one of Sensei's bodyguards. As Yonvu sped off towards the tower, as Naruto knew exactly what was going on, war would be coming to Konoha once more. As Kakashi arrived with Shikamaru and Lee, as he removed his mask. Sensei, Shikamaru, Lee. As Lee was wearing the standard Anvu uniform with a turtle mask at his hip. Shikamaru looked the same except he was smoking, and he was wearing trench knife on his waist. Naruto, what's happening? Said Kakashi. Refugees from Kumo are pouring in. The moment that you're all in, Obito will attack. Kakashi and Shikamaru blink. How do you know that? Says Shikamaru. It's what I would do. Wait for refugees to start putting tax on the shinobis, then flood the gates to white Zetsus. None have gotten in though. I would have sensed them. Kakashi nodded as he looked around. I suppose you have a plan then. As Naruto nodded Lee, I need you to round up 10 of your best men. Then I need a complete list of the shinobis that are ready to go in combat, both from refugees and Konoha forces. I specifically need them to be able to perform the Earth Release, Rampant, Earth Release, Earth Wall as well. Lee salute, it's been good to see Naruto, he said, as he put on his massive move. You're going to build a wall to Kakashi. Hell, Itachi and I know both of those jutsus. We could perform it. As Naruto chuckled, I'm going to build a wall, he says. As he shook his head, Sensei, I'm going to build a wall as high as the walls of Konoha, 10 meters thick, and have it run all around the village except for the south gate. We're gonna let them come through there, and it will be the perfect kill zone for Obito forces. Why wouldn't they just attack the wall or climb over it? Ask Kamaru. We place Jennings on the wall and put in a sprinkling of Konoha Anvus on it. Open up with kunai shurikens or whatever projectiles you can give them, with the Anvus there just in case. The Zetsu's clone do not use jutsu, said Naruto. Kakashi nodded as he could already see how this was formulating. Hell, he could already see how this would work, as he nodded and agreed with the plan. As Shikamaru nodded, it's an all or nothing gamble. We either win or we either lose. As Naruto nodded once again, this was true as well. How do you know that they won't go after the sand? Asked Kakashi. As he was curious, what made Naruto think that they would come after Konoha? As Naruto chuckled a bit, the stone and Kiri was the first to go. They were the most defensible. The stone with the mountain tops, and Kiri surrounded by water. The Zetsu clone are best fighting on solid soil. And then Kumo was next to fall after a 5-year siege. They were the strongest nation when you speak about military, and Obito couldn't risk them being a hammer in his path. With Kumo no out of the way, Obito will come directly after us. We're the best and quick to handle a large influx of refugees. Plus, we're still on some nice soil, so the Zetsu can work rather easily. If Konoha falls, all that is left is sand, and any army that goes against the sand directly has to deal with the desert. So Obito will cut off all supply routes to the sand till the refugees pour in, and the sand ration their water, so they will be ill equipped to handle so much refugees. And Obito knows that. Damn, said Shikamaru, as he realized Naruto was 100% right. Kakashi turned towards Naruto. How do you know all of this? As Naruto chuckled again, it's what I do. Obito has nothing to lose, so he will take the method that make him win. As Kakashi watched the blonde for a while, and you think that you can disrupt this plan? As Naruto punched his palm, I know I can, he said. Sensei, I need you to go and get Guy Sensei. Shika, I need you to go and get Kisame and bring him here. The both of them nodded as they made their way off, as Naruto sat down and summoned 3 clones, as they started to gather nature energy. For what he had planned, he needed all the chakra that he could get, as he summoned a 4th clone to go out and coordinate shinobis on how to build a wall. In 20 minutes he had Sakura there, Hinata, Kakashi, Kisame, Guy, Shikamaru and Lee, with a list of papers. The clone went over the list as he coordinated with Lee and his Anvu about where the people need to go. As Shikamaru told these stone ninjas to spread out a bit so the wall wouldn't be weaker in some points. That was 4 hours ago, and Naruto was still trying to convince Sakura. Sakura frowned as she crossed her arms. Guy Sensei shouldn't be opening any gates, Naruto, she said. He can't do as much physical therapy to recover anymore. As Naruto opened his eyes as his pupils showed the sage transformation already. If anyone else could open the gates, that many, I would ask them, he said. Then why not ask Lee, she asked. She was a medic and she couldn't see Guy crippled for no reason. Lee could recover. It might take a while, but he would recover faster than Guy would. We both know why Lee can't, said Naruto. Sure, he can activate 6 gates, but his chakra coils are undeveloped, which limits the amount of chakra that he can get. Guy Sensei coils are developed and bigger than Kakashi Sensei's, even though he's crippled. He could give off 5 times the amount of chakra Lee could, even if Lee opened all 8 gates, as Naruto needed a lot of chakra for what he was planning to do. Sakura sighed. As a medical professional, I recommend that he does not open any gates. However, as a shinobi medic during wartime, as she released another sigh, let me give him a quick checkup, and I'll tell you if he can at least open 5. As Sakura moved towards him to give him a basic checkup, as Kisame rolled back of his head. Okay, so what am I here for? Your part of the plan is simple, said Naruto, as he glanced towards Hinata. You're going to be channeling Guy's chakra into your blade. Guy's Sensei will be pumping out as much as he can, and you'll be absorbing as much as possible. He then glanced towards Hinata, and you will act as a chakra conduit. passing Guy and Kisame's chakra to me. Wait a minute, said Kisame. Why do you need my chakra as well? Samehata is getting hungry being this close to you with how much chakra you have, and you're saying that you need more. I'll need a lot of chakra. I'll be tapping into Kurama's chakra for this as well. Kakashi's eyes widen. What the hell sort of jutsu will you be using to need this much chakra? Only 2 jutsu sent Naruto that grain, but both were never planned to be used on such a wide scale. As Sakura came back a moment later, Guy Sensei is clear to use up to 5 gates. But, as I said, I do not approve of it, she said. Noted, said Naruto as he got up. Well, we best get moving as he moved towards the wall with the others. The wall was as high as the wall surrounding Konoha, and it was 10 meters thick. As Naruto looked towards Hinata, Kisame and Guy, are you 3 ready? He asked. The 3 nodded as Hinata placed one hand on Naruto's shoulder and the other on Kisame. Gate of opening, open. Gate of healing, open. Gate of life, open. Guy's body started to turn red, the sheer pressure of his chakra overwhelming. Gate of pain, open. Gate of limit, open. As the wall started to be crushed underneath him, as he placed a hand on Samehata that started to feast. As Naruto tapped into Kurama's chakra, as he let it flood his system, 3 tails sprung around him as a fort started to form. As he was barely holding himself together with all of his raw chakra flowing through him, he went through hand sign Earth release. Earth spear, he says, he slammed his hand down. Kakashi's eyes widened as he realized what Naruto was doing. He was making the rock walls harder than steel. He then flipped through a few more hand signs. Earth release, swamp of the underworld. As Hinata cut the connection once she couldn't join anymore, as Guy slumped in his wheelchair as he started to cough. Kakashi looked around as he looked for the swamp that Naruto had made. With the amount of chakra that was just used, it must be as large as Konoha. But he didn't see anything. As everyone is exhausted, even Naruto was exhausted as well. Naruto said to Kakashi as he wondered what went wrong. As Naruto chuckled darkly, let's see those Zetsu bastards pass through our wall now. As Kakashi's eyes widened as he realized what Naruto was implying as he looked down. How deep does it go? I left a meter of rock on the top and a meter on both sides, said Naruto. So there's 8 meters between the wall that is filled with the swamp of the underworld, and it goes deep enough all around, so if the Zetsu clones try to dig under, they will be baked alive. As he sat down resting a bit, as Sakura took Guy back to the hospital so that he could rest. Luckily, Naruto has been running on nature energy when he performed those techniques, so he would recover. As Shikamaru and Kakashi moved, as they start to give out orders, as Naruto made his way towards the entrance where they will come, as he started to meditate, as Itachi arrived as Naruto felt him arrive. Naruto-kun. Itachi, said Naruto, did you have the surgery to correct your vision? Itachi sat down on the bench beside Naruto. Yes, I could not continue to have it impede with the war anymore, said Itachi. That's good, said Naruto. You will be helping me with a large collaboration technique. I need a large scale fire to set something off. I will give you what you need, I assure you. As Itachi watched everyone move about. Are you worried? He asked. As Naruto thought about it for a little while. Yes, he answered honestly. I know what happened all those years ago. Obito was able to fight my father on equal footing. That's not something many people can do. But yet Minato-sama managed to achieve victory, said Itachi. As Naruto nodded. Tenten, he said, as Tenten jumped. You cannot sneak up on a stage, Naruto told her. Tenten grumbled a bit before she offered a box. I managed to finish them this morning. They were an absolute bitch to make. You wanted the gauntlets and the griefs to be chakra conductive, right? As Naruto smirked then, you got the other requirement to them. Yeah, it was the oddest job I ever took on, said Tenten. As Naruto opened the box looking at the gauntlets, a dark ebony color, made up of thin plates that would cover his hand completely. The fingers were done into claws, more meant for tearing than anything else. But when Naruto pushed his chakra into them, he smirked even more sadistically. No, Itachi, he said. I'm not worried. Not anymore. The gauntlets did exactly as he wanted them to. He pulled up the greaves as well as he stood to his feet. As he struck out with a punch as he felt his hand rip at the air. As he sat back down and smirked, he had Obito's number now. Kamui, the eye technique that alone can turn intangible, required chakra. To draw someone into Kamui, the user's chakra was pushed into the air, literally ripping open a void. But the void could only be sustained for 5 minutes at max, and Obito used Kamui to protect his body. After that, the chakra ran out, and the void collapsed. But when Obito attacked, he removed himself from the void, and made a new one to defend once again. As for Naruto gauntlets, they were chakra absorbing naturally. Tenten had to order the metals and mixed it with a chakra conductive metals. Now that caused a clash in the gauntlet. The metal wanted to absorb the chakra, not let it out. So when Naruto channeled chakra into it, they did nothing. That's all that they did. But when he pulsed his chakra, a short blast of chakra came out. As Naruto removed the gauntlets, as he sealed them away in the back of his hands, he would still need his hands for the upcoming battle, as they were the key to disrupt the Kamui, around Obito. As he continued to meditate and spread his senses until they're here. As he got to his feet, all the pre-battle activity came to a stop. There was no conversations, no promises of making it out alive. The Zetsu clones started to move towards the wall and the entrance. Move, Naruto told the contingents, in charge of guarding the gates. As Kakashi was wrong though, Naruto did not make the walls as strong as a steel. It was much stronger. They were impenetrable. Are you ready, Itachi? Said Naruto as he started to spin its Rasen Shuriken. Wind style Rasen Shuriken as he tossed the thing. Itachi's eyes shifted. Amaterasu, he said, as he set the ball of wind on fire, as it ripped right through the Zetsu clones, burning, tearing that got in his way. As it got deep within the ranks of Zetsu clones before, boom, it exploded outwards. The shockwave threw Zetsu clones all over the place and leveling some of the oldest trees that once surrounded Konoha, as dust was kicked up everywhere in the battlefield. As Naruto started to charge up his father, Rasengan variant, as he started using the natural engine to mold it bigger, bigger, bigger. The white Zetsu's clone run from the dust cloud, coming in by the 100. Lightning release. Rasengan shadow, said Naruto. The Zetsu clones were ripped and burned apart. As he felt the natural engine he gathered so far leave him, as he leaped, pulled out his Kizarigama as he saw Obito moving as well. As Naruto twisted and threw the thing, as the thing turned to a buzzsaw and tear right through the Zetsu clones. As he wrapped it around one of their necks and snapped it, popping the head off. Another he bisected from groin to head as explosions rained all around him. The weighted end of Kizarigama ripped through several more as Naruto kept on slashing his way forward. Bone snap, blood spew as Naruto slaughtered. He pushed his hand through a Zetsu and simply ripped his throat open as he cracked one of their spines, crushing throats. As the amount of force, the wall started to crack, leaking some of the storm of the underworld. As Naruto summoned his gauntlets and ripped a Zetsu head in half. As he drove his fist to another. Obito, he shouted as he watched the mismatched eyes of the Rinnegan and Sharingan. As Naruto's eyes were just focused on Obito as he slaughtered and killed his way towards him. As Zetsu clone was grabbed, his throat was slit. A second one was blocked, its arm was ripped off, its neck snapped. A third had its arm ripped off and Naruto slided through another one's chest and broke their head together. As he was less than 10 feet away from Obito, as he kept on slaughtering, as Obito watched the massacre come towards him, as he gave a look of not bad on his face. You're a lot better than I gave you credit for. Yeah, that's what your mom said too, said Naruto, as he saw rage flash in Obito's face. I'm going to make you scream like that bitch that birthed you. As she screamed as I tore the kyuubi from her, Obito said. As Naruto did not allow the rise to get at him, Obito talked, he said, I'm so afraid of a man that was able to hurt a woman after she just finished giving birth. As Obito's hand clenched into a fist, I at least had the balls to do everything I'd done, without wearing a mask. Were you afraid if you show your face to my father, he wouldn't take you seriously? Were you afraid of being second best still? After all, that was all you ever were, Kakashi-sensei. Second best. Obito's face twisted in rage. You see, you and I were the same for a time back in the past. Dead last under a teacher men could consider best in the world. Looked down upon by the rival we look up to, and the girl we love. But you won't know the difference between us both. I grew a pair of balls, and you still whine like some little bitch, said Naruto. As Obito swung as hard as he could, aiming for Naruto's jaw. As Naruto's hand shot up as he grabbed Obito's punch, clenching it tight. As Naruto grinned excitedly. Not here, he said. There are too many people for my taste. It's like the Naruto-chan afraid that I'll take hostages with Obito, trying to get a rise out of the blonde. Nah, I'm not afraid of that at all. But I would have backup if we were to fight here. Can you take on Kisame, Itachi, Kakashi-sensei and me at the same time? Obito paused as he regarded the blonde in front of him. The blonde wasn't afraid of a hostage situation. He just didn't want backup to interfere. Not to mention Obito was wondering what the hell was going on. He activated his Kamui and yet, his fist was still in the blonde's gauntlet, and the blonde was holding onto his hand. Where will we battle then? He said as he pulled his arm out, as he could feel his tomoe once again. Lead the way, Obito-chan, said Naruto, as Obito took to the trees, as Naruto followed. Obito didn't want to go too far away because once he ripped the Kyuubi from out of him, he would direct it back to Konoha. As they headed straight towards the Valley of Aang, the ice was still there, making a clear, wonderful spot for them to battle on. Even the parts that were broken were frozen back over. I'm gonna enjoy beating your disrespectful ass and ripping the Kyuubi out of you, Obito said, as Naruto smirked as he lowered into a stance. I don't think you have the balls to do it, Obito. Obito flashed over in a blur, as his fist cracked in Naruto's jaw, as Naruto head twisted aside, as he was grinning like a madman. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Obito howled with rage, as he started to drive his fists into Naruto's face, stomach and jaw. As Naruto did not block them as his body got bruised, his nose broken, as blood flowed freely from him as he smiled, the blood running down into his teeth, making him look all more crazy. He reset his nose as he spat out blood. Is that all you got, Obito? Where's all the rage? Where's all the hate? As Kurama cloak appeared around him as he healed the bruise and the breaks, before he dismissed it. Fire style. Great fireball jutsu. As Naruto pulled an attack out and threw it forward, a torrent of water came out as it doused the flames. Come on, do something different, said Naruto. All goddamn Uchihas he encountered at one time always use that ninjutsu. Obito rushed over and grabbed Naruto by the throat. I'll just kill you, he said. I'll wait until the Kyuubi's reformed, then I'll capture it myself. As Naruto looked at Obito, that is not how you choke someone, as he grabbed Obito's thumb and broke it, before he reached and grabbed him by the throat. This is how you choke someone, with raw physical strength, and it also keeps someone from screaming out. Why won't you die, Obito said, as he could not get out of Naruto's hole. Pure, undiluted hate, rage, fury, a healthy dose of insane and bloodlust. All of that mixed into a perfect cocktail. Until all of that is satisfied, I will not die, and I will not stop, said Naruto as he tightened his grip, as Obito squirmed. But the way Naruto was holding him, he could not do anything, and he could not get away. As Naruto squeezed and squeezed and squeezed and squeezed until his hand stopped moving as he dropped to his side. As Naruto slammed him in the ground, before he pulled out a special kunai, as he saved it just for this. Screw you, he says, he tear right through the man's throat. As Naruto heard a crunch as he turned to see someone approaching him. The mystery man was clapping, as he had this sadistic smirk on his face, his eyes glowing crimson. No footwear, ripped off pants, and open shirt. His hair was a bright crimson and came down to the middle of his waist. He also had 9 tails and fox ears. Kurama? Said Naruto. The man nodded, as he vanished and slammed his knee into Naruto's sternum, as Naruto spat out blood. But guys, we end episode right here. If you want to see next part, then do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also, guys, remember to stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way over on Anime King and over on Anime King 3. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channels, and making Anime King 2 and Making 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy, guys. So without further ado, what do you say we get the hell out of here? See you guys very soon. Peace.